Hey guys. Well, you saw the earlier video. You know that after looking for a long time, we finally decided to go ahead and buy some land. It borders the Corps of Engineers strip on Lake North Fork. Got an easy walk to the lake. It's on a private road. The 3-hour drive from the house is about the only downside to it. We're going to head up this weekend, put out a deer stand, another blind. We've already got one blind out in one location. We've started on a food plot. We got it planted. We got to cut down a few more small trees and drag a few more out of it. Put out some trail cameras. We have several nice bucks on it. Put out 2 more trail cameras 2 weeks ago when we were up here, and I'm gonna go check those. We just got the property in the middle of September. I had a lot of time to spend on it. We were gonna go up, do some good scouting on it, put this buddy stand, this 2-man ladder stand up. We have a place already picked out for the other ground blind we're gonna put up. At 700 foot in elevation, there's this band of just grass. It's real gravelly. They got grass growing up through it, and we put a camera on it, and there's several crossings where deer cross that from a cedar thicket. It's up above that. It's still on our property. And with the deer crossing that going down to the hardwoods in the valley, I think that'll be a really good location. We have one spot about halfway down the mountain on the backside, on the east side of the property, that we have some really nice bucks on camera, but there's not a really good way to hunt it right now, so we may not hunt it, or I may go in with my climber and hunt it this year if I'm gonna hunt it. There's an oak flat down on the bottom, just up from the valley, that's looks really good, covered in deer sign. There's a few rubs on it, a lot of droppings. It's dropping acorns. 2 weeks ago they were already in there eating acorns. I got a camera out on it. That's probably where the buddy stand's going to go. This property is totally raw land. It's never been developed in any kind of way. It's 100% wooded. Has a creek. The spring starts on us and gets gradually larger as it comes across the property, and then halfway across the property or so, the elevation change where the ground goes back up, and it's real loose gravel, and the creek just flows through it. It comes down the other side of that hump, and then goes around to the road on 60 feet on the west side of the road. Then it's the Corps of Engineers boundary. And as the creek flows onto the Corps of Engineers, there's another creek that joins it, and another spring coming out of the ground right there at it. And from that point on, it's a nice sized creek. It's full of fish. On our side of the road, there's crawdads and tadpoles. So I didn't see any fish at all in it. We may could dig it out, that loose gravel bank that like a big gravel bar that dams it up, or it flows through. We may could dig it out where it can connect the creek, and maybe fish would come up. There's a few nice little holes that'd be good for the kids to jump around and swim around in. All in all, it's a really nice layout. It's almost perfect. It took us so long to find property because we didn't want to spend money on just a place to deer hunt only. I mean, we'd use it in the winter, and then summertime it would just sit there. We wanted a place close enough to a large body of water or a river that we could have full year, was worth of use out of it. So with this place, there's a boat ramp that's only about 2 miles away. And there's a really nice boat ramp about 5 miles away. It's close enough to town that it's only a 20-minute drive to a Walmart, but there's no full-time neighbors on the property, at the property. There's a lot of deer. It is in the chronic wasting disease zone, so there's no antler restrictions. But we can't bring anything back home but deboned meat, hides, antlers, or clean skulls or skull caps or taxidermy products. So if we kill a nice buck, we'll have to either decide if we're going to have it mounted up there, or just do a European mount ourselves at the property and bring the clean skull back home. That all being said, it's going to be an awesome place for the kids to grow up on, just to explore the woods and play in the creeks. We got a long drive ahead of us. We got to stop, pick up a few things, get a bite to eat, and we'll get back with y'all in a few hours. We made it to the road going to our property. Like I said, it's not a county road, it's a private road. I have an easement deeded to me on this road. And then the gentleman past me has the easement deeded across me to his property. And it needs a little work. It's not horrible. And I think all of us on the street, on the road, are going to get together and go in and have a guy come in with a bulldozer and some more gravel and make it a lot better. And then we'll put a gate up on the road, hopefully, that will keep it in good shape. There's no public access on this road to the Corps of Engineer ground or anything. So it's there's really no reason for anybody to come down this road that doesn't have either a property owner on the road or coming to see one of the property owners on the road. So we're gonna get down here and try to get a few things done before we get the boys back home. They got school tomorrow.
Yeah, Dad.
Show you some footage of the road here.
I have Bobby.
Yeah, Kit loves school. Got all kind of friends. We made it up to the property. Like I said, the boys have done run up the hill playing. All right, don't wear yourself out. Boys back down here finally. We're gonna take that blind, go up to the top of the mountain on the back side of the valley, check a few cameras on the way, put the blind out, and get it all brushed in. It's about the closest thing we have to a road in here. Place here's pretty neat. Get this big flat valley. Go up just a little. Outcroppings here. They go all the way across. Got little caves up underneath them. Be a lot of fun for the boys. But anyways, get this little bit of steep here, then it's flat again. Like little stair steps. It's like real big stair steps, I guess. All the way up to the top of the mountain.
So let's go check the camera up here?
Yeah, I'm gonna check those two cameras up here and put this blind up here. Come here. All right, show me all your weapons.
Sword.
There's a sword.
And there is a machete.
A machete. Okay.
I thought it was a katana. Whatever. And there is a knife.
Cool.
I think my name in my body. I think my machete in my arm. My hay color.
Okay.
Her and my hay.
All right, let's go. Yeah, we did find some bear tracks down in the creek early on. All right, let's push on up, guys. Oh, fat man's tired. Okay, we came up 100 foot in elevation from the lower food plot to here. It's about 1/8 of a mile between the two. So it's not extremely steep. My property line still goes for another 170 yards from this point to my property line to the east. But it is almost entirely these cedars. It's a pretty big grassy area. So I'm sure that beat down right there is mostly deer. Be able to see down both ways here. It's a pretty cool setup. The deer eating this grass. I'm gonna start scattering seed in here like spring. Turn this into a big long food plot, basically. Have a couple big stands on it to where you can see both ways. After we checked the camera the first time, we had deer. Mostly does, but we are meat hunters. Does are fine. Big bucks are nice too though. But there were 3 small bucks that cruise this thing daily. And it'd be great for Jake. Wanna check this camera again? Cody. Cody. Deer. It's a little buck. Like a little 8-point maybe.
Yep. There.
Turkeys?
Yeah, might be a place for turkey.
Cody. Definitely gotta do some predator hunting up here.
Yes, we do. There's too many coyotes.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little 6 or 8, no.
That's a like
Spike or a 4-point.
Yeah, that's a 4-point.
This trail camera was set to 3-picture burst, and in the 2 weeks that it was out, we had well over 1,000 pictures. There were a lot of coyote pictures, several squirrel, rabbits, raccoons, other small game, quite a few turkeys. But we have a lot of deer pictures, and they're pretty much all exclusively daytime pictures. Very few nighttime deer pictures. We just selected a few pictures at random to put on here to give you an idea of the different deer that come through.
Alright, so we had a couple of nice small bucks and several does on camera. So we also probably have deer crossing down here. We know we have deer running across it this way. Deer trail coming down right here. There are 3 coming down, one between these 2 trees, one on the other side of those trees. We have this beat down, if you can tell that or not, trail. They come around the end of this and come across right here. I can trim up some shooting lanes. One right back through there. All this low vegetation here. We'll have one straight over there. Is now selectively trim out some shooting windows from this way. You're back in behind all this thick stuff. And then when they get right here, they should be perfectly broadside. I think it'll be pretty good setup. Let me get the trimming.
That one. That is hard, right? That doesn't hear me?
Yep.
I died. No, I died. He hear me there. But it's me. It's Zoe to me. Yeah, to me. It's me and my dad, guys. It's me and my dad, guys. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, I think that's going to be the final brush in on this blind. It's not perfect, but we're running out of time, so we got a lot of work to do today. I thinned it out enough right here where we could see something coming. But there is, you could squeeze a shot off through there if you had to. First little shooting lanes right here. Of course, when you get right here, you're wide open. You get over here to where most of our deer activity is. It's pretty well camouflaged. Alright, so we'll have deer coming down that trail there. We have a shot there if we want to take it. But when he steps out there, we'll have perfect shots all through that opening. And then as the deer walk by out there, of course, we'll have good shots. Have a shot back over that little grassy area. Hopefully it'll work out pretty good. I get these rocks out of here now. Alright, Jake, you back from exploring?
Yeah.
Get a little lighter on the trip back down, not having that blind to carry.
Alright, that's going to do it for this one.
Okay, come on.
The next video, we find the biggest buck yet, and we'll be putting up a ladder stand on the oak ridge we have down here, and then we'll be putting up another ground blind in this thicket